how many years of service? Like what? I think I read 23, but I feel like it's more than that.
Yeah, I think 23 behind the scenes for sure. What is this, 2020? No, that's probably right. It probably was back in the late 80s or late 90s.
And I'm assuming Vince knows from his best friend more than we do, because he's getting rid of travel departments and live events departments, and the president was just saying that there should be a vaccine by October. So I don't think there is going to be one. So says Vince McMahon, who probably knows more.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise I don't see why you'd slash all those jobs just before things are supposedly going to get better.
Yeah, not. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. But we got new people moving in AEW, and in fact, their latest acquisition, as we've kind of talked about at the beginning of the show, the Best Man, Miro. And yes, the Best Man isn't just for the wedding gimmick; that is his moniker going forward.
It's weird.
And he is now, in case you don't know, he is the former Rusev, but he now has blonde hair with his black beard. He's
so pretty.
So it doesn't not work, I think.
You know, earlier I think when I was talking about Jericho complaining about them chanting Y2J and all that, I think it may have worked because the fans did not chant Rusev Day at all on Dynamite. They chanted Miro Day.
I was gonna say, yeah, Miro Day was.
I expected Rusev Day.
Chant.
I think it would have been welcomed even at this point, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the run-up to his debut, Miro confessed he tried to make himself numb, he said. The closer it got, however, the more excited he got, pointing to his AEW moniker as the Best Man. Miro explained how it's not just a gimmick. Instead, the name reflects his feelings that he is the best professional wrestler in the world, and Shane McMahon has something to say about that, buddy. During his first appearance, Miro talked about how he was finally free from being, quote, under the same house, under the same glass ceiling, with an imaginary brass ring. He then declared his previous employers could take that brass ring and shove it up their ass.
It's good. It's good. I don't know about the whole Best Man gimmick, but it's AEW. I'm assuming he's going to be able to be the silly self that he's wanted to be.
Or maybe he can be a hard-hitting, serious brute.
Who's funny backstage. I think a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do in WWE was to get himself over as a fan favorite, kind of every guy kind of thing. But no, I liked his debut. It's weird. It works.
Did they explain why he's his best man?
No, just that was how they brought him in. I'm assuming he's going to ruin their wedding.
Right.
He'll have like some kind of traumatic flashback to WWE and break up their wedding. And
he gets to be the new cuck.
Yeah. Or they just skip that part in general and then he just ruins the wedding and then destroys things for a while as the big badass he is. I think it's funny Rusev came out looking like Eminem with the dark beard and the blonde hair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it works. I'm just saying it doesn't not work.
No, yeah. It feels like what he wants to feel like, I think.
It feels like I got to give it some time. See a minute, see it move around in it, and then it'll probably be, then I'll be used to it.
Yeah.
Some things just stand out as awful, and this doesn't. It just doesn't stand out as great.
My dog's dying over here.
Is that your dog trying to breathe?
Yeah.
Holy buckets, that's loud.
Yeah, well, she was like on the couch right next to the mic. She's like, I gotta get up here, I gotta get on the show. All Elite Wrestling has also officially signed former NXT roster member Tay Conti to a contract. Conti competed in the recent AEW Women's Tag Team Cup as Anna Jay's partner. They defeated Nyla Rose and Ariane Andrew in the first round. That's former Cameron in WWE, if you don't remember. In the second round, they would lose to the eventual tournament winners, Ivelisse and Diamante. Ever since teaming with the Dark Order's Anna Jay, Brody Lee's faction has been attempting to recruit Conti into their ranks. Conti was released from her NXT contract back in April. AEW announced Conti's signing on Twitter Wednesday, and she faced Nyla Rose in a match as her debut and lost.
Ah, good. She's another talent can go good here. She's green. She needs some work, but she's got so much potential.
Yeah, WWE should have gave her more of a shot, I think.
Yeah,
but it's probably better that she's not there.
Didn't she have injury issues?
I think so, yeah.
I want to say she had some injuries, and that might be, who knows? But yeah, I think she could be a welcome addition to a women's division. They need to do something with their women's division. I don't know if just loading it up with a bunch of people works, unless they're going to get rid of some women maybe, but let's start doing something right with them. And, yeah. But I tell you what, Pacey, the Dark Order's recruitment efforts have extended far beyond the world of AEW itself. Because this week, on Being the Elite, Silver and Reynolds excitedly revealed that they had recruited Blockbuster Entertainment award-winning actor and stand-up comedian Sinbad to join the Dark Order. The Kazam star expressed his loyalty via Cameo, putting up the Dark Order hand gesture. Ooh. This is the dumbest shit ever. God damn, sometimes they just seem so much more and more like WWE, it scares me.
WWE would go for more of a relevant star than Sinbad, I think. I think it's funny that AEW it's lampooning, it's parody, it's fun. And it's using Cameo to their benefit when WWE is banning it.
I wouldn't call bringing Sinbad on to their benefit.
Hey, Fat Mac, I forgot to tell you I spent the whole budget on a cameo from Sinbad too.
God damn it.
I saw it on Dynamite and I'm like, oh, he's going to be hot property again. We got to get him for the show.
He's out there making the rounds promoting Kazam 2. Kazam 2 back in the Zam. I don't know, man. I don't like this one. It's very WWE-ish, and it kind of, especially for a group like the Dark Order.
That's what I'm saying. The Dark Order is like they're bad guys, but it's a lot of the shit they do is comedy. If you see them on, they have a very strong prominence on Being the Elite, and a lot of their stuff is really funny. But it still works because Brody Lee's like the aggressive guy who kicks the shit out of all of them and keeps them in line. So it's like, I don't know, it's bumbling idiots, and it's fun.
It just makes me think of like Cheech and Chong on Raw or something. It's just like nobody knew why they were on there. Nobody knows why Sinbad is in the Dark Order.
Well, I'm sure that's the only time you're ever going to see him. They paid for a cameo. That's a one-shot thing. I mean, unless he catches wind that this is going to be good for his career.
We hope like hell. I don't know.
Well, what's good news, I suppose, Tessa Blanchard is returning to wrestling, but it's not in a major promotion.
What?
Blanchard's first booking since being released by Impact will be at Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series event, as she'll face Kylie Ray in defense of Blanchard's Women's Championship, which she has held for 488 days since May 5th of last year. The card will air live on Fight on September 12th. Here's the rest of the card. We'll see a real slobber knocker between IHOP TJP and Alex Shelley. The Rascals take on Myron Reed, Chris Bay, and Jordan Oliver. Thunder Rosa takes on Kimber Lee. Dan the Dad will take on Elena Black, which is just... What? Oh, I'm really excited for this, though. Joey Janela takes on Warhorse. That's going to be good. I want to see the promos for that.
Yes.
Whew.
This next one's actually the one I'm most excited for.
Daga versus Isaiah Velasquez.
That's going to be fun.
I don't know who Isaiah Velasquez is.
Let me just tell you this: it's going to be a cruiserweight extravaganza.
Excellent. And Tom Lawler takes on Kevin Koo, and Brian Cage versus Alex Zane. This is a good card.
Very good card. I'm thinking I might have to get some fight on her. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's fair enough. But some things aren't fair, and that's when superstars get injured. So, Fat Mac, lead us into this week's injury report.
Well, it's a sad day that we got a long injury report here to finish out the show, but we're going to go with it. Pasty, WWE has confirmed that Ivar of the Viking Raiders suffered a cervical injury during Raw this week when he landed a dive through the ropes onto several wrestlers on the outside of the ring, and shortly thereafter, the referee put up the dreaded X.
As soon as he hit the ground, he threw an X. As soon as he hit the ground, he's like, "No, this is over."
It was noted that he was taken to a local hospital and is expected to make a full recovery. But hey, they stopped it and they got him the fuck out of there.
And they didn't let him restart the match.
No, not with him in it.
AEW's Jack Evans is currently out of action with an injury. Evans has not wrestled since the August 25th AEW Dark, where he and Angelico defeated Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss in tag team action. That episode was taped on August 13th. Evans came to the ring with Angelico during this week's Dynamite. Jack noted on social media he has a hairline fracture in his left cheekbone and has not been medically cleared to wrestle. I feel like a cheekbone.
I think his best friend kissed him a little too hard.
Probably.
I think old Angelico came in for one a little too fast. A little peck on the cheek. Crack. Poor guy. Just wear a face mask. That's what old Brutus the Barber Beefcake did. After he got hit by a fucking parasailer.
Well, you can't do the face mask because that's what Britt Baker's doing. That's gimmick infringement, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you who's not infringing on anything but had a bad gimmick happen. Old Matt Hardy, we talked about this. We're just going to go over it real quick here. He had the very scary incident at All Out early in the Broken Rules match. Came off the scissors lift. Hardy got speared, went down towards the table, but missed the two tables and landed hard on the concrete. It was clear Hardy was out of it as the referee held up the X sign for help. Despite Hardy showing obvious signs of mental trauma, he and Guevara finished the match with the two climbing some scaffolding and Hardy shoving Guevara off for the win when Guevara didn't answer the referee's 3 count. Rebby Hardy has since called out everyone involved for the situation on how it was handled in the way that only Rebby does, saying, "Let me be absolutely fucking clear. There is nothing entertaining about concussion. Shame on everyone in that goddamn building." The next day, Rebby gave an update that Matt stayed overnight for additional imaging to be done after his CT scan, noting that he had what the doctors said to medically as a 1,000% concussion. That's medical terms.
That's a huge concussion.
Anyone with eyes could have told you that, though. The wrestling legend has broken his silence since the scary victory at All Out. Hardy said that he was in the hospital for a couple days and is finally back home. He said, "I had to go for a bunch of tests and evaluations. I was just stuck in the hospital. It sucks. I'm so happy to be out and be back home."
Man, Tony Khan does not want to get Rebby Hardy get on Rebby Hardy's bad side.
No, he does not.
She'll ruin his whole company.
She'll take the whole
Single-handedly,
thing
she'll destroy everything. She'll give him a concussion.
And I'll tell you what, Pasty, as bad as things have been for Matt Hardy, TNA Loyalists had a rough week this week.
Yeah. Former Nation of Domination member PG-13's Wolfie D, who wrestled in TNA as Slash, has been hospitalized due to a blood clot in his heart. According to the Memphis Wrestling News Facebook page, Wolfie D, real name Kelly Wolf, had surgery on his knee after ripping his quad tendon off of his kneecap.
Ouch.
It is believed the clot moved to his heart from there. Wolfie D wrestled for Jerry Lawler's USWA, where he was a USWA Heavyweight Championship, Middleweight Championship, Television Championship, and Tag Team Championship 15 times with PG partner JC Ice, and once with Brian Christopher. He also wrestled for ECW after he left WWF.
Rough. I hope